Sun Seekers, welcome back to Someplace Sunny. Today we're diving into something that we rarely, I don't think we talk about it enough, and that is the dark side of healing. If you've been following me, you know that I've been on a healing journey, and healing, it's scary, it's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's painful. So this video is for anyone who feels like they're struggling more than they're succeeding on their journey, and I want you to know that you're not alone. If this is something that you're dealing with, please hit the subscribe button so we can all travel this journey of healing together.
In the sun, it's already begun. You are my one. With a simple mind, we should find some more time. We don't need to worry at all.
Okay, so when we talk about healing, we often think it is this beautiful linear path, right? That you start here and it's just a gradual progression upwards. But the truth is, healing isn't always light and progress. Sometimes it brings up shadows that we didn't even know we had, and that can feel, well, in my experience, pretty damn dark. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the realities that no one talks about, the moments that make you question everything, and how to embrace them as part of your journey. Okay, so we're gonna start with one of the biggest myths that I believe that I found about healing, and that myth is it's all about progress, right? We've all seen those inspirational quotes, oh, things are getting better every day. But what happens when you feel like you're getting worse? What happens when you hit the same feelings of sadness, anxiety, and hopelessness? Sometimes even harder than before you started your healing journey, right? So I've been there. There are days in my own healing journey when I thought, shouldn't I be past this by now? But the truth no one tells you is healing, it's not linear. Again, you don't start from point A and jump to point B. There are going to be 100 times where you are at point A before you even see a glimpse of point B. And it's okay if you're not making constant progress. Healing is about the process, guys. The setbacks are part of that process. Whenever you hit that low point, I have to remind myself often that that does not mean I'm failing. And sometimes it's hard to get that into your brain that you're not failing. It means that you're still healing. So you know what? Comment below if you guys have ever felt like you're stuck in that same emotional loop. And let's remind each other that we're all in this together. Okay, while we're talking about commenting, if you haven't been there already, go to www.someplacesunny.shop and click on submit your story. Guys, so important. I do not believe that any of us were given any of the difficulties and challenges that we face in this world to not come out on the other side and there be a meaning behind that. So sharing your story helps so many other people. Your story could resonate with someone, and just so important. Also, check out the Someplace Sunny Foundation. That is our nonprofit that is designed to help those that are on this healing journey and are dealing with mental health struggles. 5% of all of our sales go to that foundation. There's going to be some really cool things coming up, so make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook so that you can get in on what that foundation has to offer. As always, you can wear your story at Someplace Sunny. Today, I have on my little gypsy shirt. She's in her little wagon. She's awesome. I love it. This was last year's design, but it will be out again probably this winter. So check that out. Someplace Spooky's up, and we have all the cool stuff for Halloween. Okay, so healing isn't just about letting go of the past. It's actually more about confronting it. And sometimes whenever you start to dig deep, you start to feel like you're opening old wounds again. I know this has happened to me recently. I've really recently got into reading a lot of books on healing and starting to really focus on healing some things from my past. And you start to see the parts of yourself that you would rather ignore. Fear, guilt, shame. And that's the hard part, isn't it? No one prepares you for the fact that when you heal, you have to face parts of yourself that you've been running from. And that it can hurt, and it can hurt really bad. So, on my own journey, I've had to sit with emotions that I didn't want to feel. I've actually remembered things that I had blocked in my subconscious somewhere. Fear that I would never get better. Fear that, shame about things I've done in the past, or decisions I've made, or things I've said. And I had to learn to hold space for all of it. And that wasn't easy, and it's not easy, and I deal with it every day. But here's the thing, when growth happens, the pain of self-reflection, it's like a fire, right? It burns, but it also transforms. You have to go through it to find your true self on the other side. Okay, so another thing that no one tells you about healing, whenever you're starting this process, I didn't hear any of this stuff, right? It's more through self-reflection, and then what I do is, what I'm feeling, I look up, and I always find that it's a symptom of healing, a sign of healing. So there are going to be times whenever you question everything, right? You question the process, the purpose, you even question your own worth. Healing can feel like, to me, like tearing down everything you thought you knew about yourself. And that can have you feeling lost. There are times in my healing journey, things that I have reflected on lately, where I thought, what's the point? I started getting like, wait a second, I'm doing all these good things to make me heal and to make me a better person, but nothing's getting better. I feel worse. So why in the hell am I putting myself through this if I just keep feeling worse, right? If you're feeling this way right now, let me tell you, these are the moments that will test you the most. But they're also the moments that will push you forward. And I've come to realize that. And it doesn't mean you're failing at all. And I thought that at first, and until, different things will come to me. And I'm like, well, wait a second. This is actually good if I break it down, right? It means that you're growing. Because when you rebuild, you get to decide. You get to decide what stays and what gets the hell out of there, what goes. And that is the most empowering part of healing. Okay, so how do you embrace these dark moments? You need to allow yourself to feel them. You cannot rush to fix everything at once. And if you've watched me before, I am that type of person who is an instant gratification person. And I've come to realize that you have to sit with those emotions and you have to let yourself feel them. If you're pissed, let yourself be pissed. Mornings are my time to be pissed. I'm not a morning person. And sometimes whenever I have reflected on a lot of things and, anxiety is up, or it's beautiful outside today, but fall is coming and winter is coming. And whenever I wake up in the morning, sometimes I'm freezing, I'm pissed. And I tend to experience anger. And you have to let yourself sit with it. You have to understand where it's coming from and why it's there. And the best way to do that is to sit with it. If you're sad, let yourself be sad. I've had multiple days in the past few weeks where I have been sad, and it sucks. But pushing it away is going to make the process take longer, guys. These emotions are signals that something inside of you needs to change. It needs attention. That's how it is. One thing that helped me was journaling. I do write down things, especially whenever I'm feeling those ways, and then I go back and reflect on them. I wrote down everything I felt, no matter how ugly and nasty it seemed. And it helped me understand what was really going on beneath the surface. Another key practice is mindfulness. I do this every single morning. If you've watched me before, I read a spiritual devotional first, and then I read a chapter in a book. And then I sit with my thoughts, I sit with my feelings, and instead of pushing those dark things away, I allow them. I talk to them. I say, I see you, I hear you. Please tell me what to do about this. It is a simple act of acknowledgement that can help you battle against your own mind. Has mindfulness or journaling helped you? If it has, please put that in the comments. Share your experience. I'd love to hear how it's worked for you so that we can all learn together here. As much as healing can hurt, it's also a path to something beautiful, and I truly believe that. I've experienced it in my life, and I'm still on this healing journey. I'm not perfect or I haven't overcome a lot of things, but I have overcome several very important things in my life that I just sat down and actually thought about. So I'm going to share a little story. I had my husband's mother. I can't call her my mother-in-law because she was never that. She was an evil, spiteful woman. Probably the most evil person I've ever encountered in my existence. And she tortured my soul for 20 years. And I could not let it go. I just could not. It was, even though she's been in hell now for probably about 8 years. And I didn't talk to her for years before that. I had to cut all ties, which I had done multiple times during a 20, 25 year span, probably a 20-year span. But I would always go back. And if you guys, while I'm talking about it, we have this cool new shirt over at Someplace Sunny because I was watching, I love true crime. If you've followed me, you know that. And there was this woman on there a couple weeks ago, and maybe Justin will throw her little clip in, but she said the craziest shit I have ever heard.
Okay, this is my first time ever seeing this. And I'm going to be honest. If you want me to be honest about what I'm looking at, I'm glad that you got your ass in there so that you can't hurt any damn body else. I have no sympathy for you. I hate you for everything that you did. And I hope that you rot in hell.
Oh my God.
2 years ago, I said, well, I need to get it together because it's killing me. But seeing this tombstone, I could go out there and take that tombstone and pull him up and kill his ass all over again. That's the honest to God truth.
That is pure hatred towards somebody. And I've never hated a person in my life like I hated this woman, right? And I wanted to say it. I wanted to feel it. I wanted so badly. And I'm laying in bed and I'm picturing her face, right? I'm closing my eyes and I'm picturing her face, and I couldn't feel it. I just couldn't feel it. And it kind of, at the beginning, it sucked because I wanted to feel it. But after I went to my counselor, he's like, Amy, you're healed from that, you know? And it took me 20 years, guys. Like every day, this woman lived in my brain, and this animosity and hatred. And that wasn't good. It wasn't good for me. It's not good for you. You need to let that shit go. And I honestly never thought, I thought I would take it to my grave. And while I still don't like her, I let it go. And there's several things that I have found during my healing journey. So one day you will just literally wake up and you will have this epiphany of some sort of, holy shit. As bad as I felt through this whole process, it's working. So remember, through the darkness, you can find your own light. And that is exactly what happened, because I was in a very dark place with this woman for half of my life. And that's sad to say, but it's just the truth. So remember, every time you have a setback, every time you question yourself, you're still moving forward, and you will realize that. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but you will realize it. Some of my biggest moments of growth came after my darkest nights. And that's just an example of my story. And that's something that I want to share with you. Healing isn't always about being okay. It's about learning to be okay with not being okay. So you need to learn to be okay with not being okay. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's just how it is. And knowing that brighter days are coming, even if you can't see them right now, you have to have faith in that. So I guess what I want to say is if you're on this healing journey, please don't give up. Guys, I have given up so many times in the past 20 years. And this year on January 1st, I decided I was not giving up anymore. I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to come out on the other side a better person. If any of this resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share with others who may be on a healing journey as well, because we're all learning together. We are all just moving towards our someplace sunny, even when the skies are cloudy. And most importantly, find your someplace sunny. Take yourself there. It's truly where freedom and happiness reside.